Hey guys, today we begin beneath the sweeping arms of a giant banyan tree, roots curled like resting snakes, leaves whispering ancient gossip in the morning breeze. You're sitting at the edge of a stone platform, picking at your sandals already, restless, already thinking about somewhere anywhere else. It's the kind of village where nothing happens loudly, where time seems to walk with a limp, where the cows look bored and the ceiling fans in every shop groan like tired old men. And it drives you absolutely up the wall. You're 13. Or nearly. And your grandmother Emma sits under that banyan tree every single morning without fail, with her silver braid and quiet hands, stringing jasmine flowers like it's some sort of sacred ritual. She doesn't rush, doesn't talk much, just nods at passers-by and hums in a voice so soft it could evaporate. Everyone respects her, worships her almost, but you don't get it. So before you get comfortable, take a moment to like the video and subscribe, but only if you genuinely enjoy what I do here. Let me know in the comments where you're tuning in from and what time it is for you. Now, dim the lights, maybe turn on a fan for that soft background hum. And let's ease into tonight's journey together. You want to leave this place. Simple. You've got a notebook full of lists, trains to catch, cities to visit, languages to learn, sneakers to wear that don't squelch in monsoon mud. Your favorite song is in a language Amma doesn't understand. Your ringtone is louder than most arguments here. And every time you see the same dusty road that curls toward the main highway, your chest gets tight with that itchy, aching kind of hope that your parents are supportive. Sort of, your dad calls you rocket fuel with feet. Your mom just sighs and says, let her run. She'll learn when to stop. But Amma says nothing. She just keeps stringing jasmine, glancing up at you now, and then like she sees something you don't. You make your grand plan for this Saturday, slip out early, catch the 7:10 bus to the junction, and go from there. You've saved just enough. You even packed an emergency sandwich in foil. It's happening. But Saturday comes with thunder. Not the metaphorical kind. Real, loud, showy thunder. The kind that makes your walls rattle and cats hide in tandoor ovens. The sky doesn't cry, it wails. All buses are canceled. Your dad's umbrella folds backward like a defeated crab. You're stuck. So you sulk, dramatically. You sit beside Amma under the tree's dry patch with crossed arms and the emotional energy of a rejected soap opera star. She offers you a thread of jasmine. You roll your eyes, but you stay. The rain goes on for days. Not hours, days. The kind of rain that slows your thoughts down like a buffering video. Roads vanish under muddy waves. Even the chai stall closes. You have no choice but to wait. So you do. You sit there, next to Amma, every morning. You don't talk much. At first you scroll your phone obsessively, but eventually even the signal gives up. So you watch her. She doesn't look bored, doesn't twitch or fidget. Her hands move with quiet rhythm. Her eyes scan the road like she's expecting something sacred. One day, you ask, just to break the silence, why do you sit here every day? She replies without looking up, I'm not waiting for anything. I'm listening. To what? You ask, raising an eyebrow like you're auditioning for Skeptic of the Year. To the day, she says, like that's obvious. Authors still debate whether attention span has shortened over generations, but you know this much: yours is growing under that tree. Day by day, something strange happens. You stop checking your phone so much. You notice the way the light shifts on the tree bark, the sound of goats arguing, the mailman's cough. You start to guess the time just by how the air smells. You can even tell when Amma's about to speak. Her breath changes ever so slightly. One day, you laugh, genuinely, because a squirrel tries to steal Amma's flower thread and she flicks it away like a boss. You wish you'd filmed it, but it's better that it lives in your head. Your cousin posts a photo of you looking grumpy in the rain under the banyan tree. Caption: monsoon mood, unplugged and unwilling. It gets 4,000 likes. Someone turns it into a meme. When you're spiritual, but also done with everything. Your aunt prints it out, puts it on the fridge. You don't even mind God by the end of the week. Your plan to leave feels muted, not gone, just quieter, less urgent. The idea of missing one more bus doesn't twist your stomach anymore. You even ask Emma how to thread the jasmine properly. She nods once and places the flowers in your hand without a word. Something about that quiet exchange sits in your chest like sunlight. But just when you're starting to enjoy the stillness, something shifts again. You don't notice the envelope at first. It's just there, on the stone platform beside Amma's basket, weighed down by a single jasmine bud. Rain has finally stopped. The village is sticky with leftover storm, and everything smells like damp, roots and diesel. Amma's hands pause mid-thread. She nudges the envelope toward you with a knuckle. You pick it up. It's addressed to you. Your name, full and clear, in handwriting that's not Amma's. You glance at her. She doesn't look at you, just keeps tying one bloom to the next, like this isn't a scene straight out of a movie. Inside is a letter. It's not long, just a paragraph, but it's from someone who was here before. Someone named Mira. You don't know her, but she writes like she knows you. She writes, I sat here every day like you are now. I wanted to run. I did. I went far. But the stillness followed me until I finally learned how to listen. You read it twice. Then once more, slowly, mouthing the words. You look around like someone might be watching, grinning behind a pillar. But there's only Amma, tying flowers like always. You feel a chill, even though the sun's back. You don't ask questions. Not yet. Instead, you start showing up to the banyan tree early. Not because anyone asks you to, just because you want to. You bring your own thread, your own bag of flowers from the morning market. You even start braiding your hair like Emmeline. And loose. She doesn't comment. But you catch her smiling when she thinks you're not looking. Then one afternoon, a boy from the nearby town sits on the opposite edge of the platform. Hoodie zipped up, sketchbook open. You've seen him before, but never this close. He's drawing. Not you, don't worry. You're not the main character yet. He's drawing the tree. And he's doing it like the branches are alive, like each root has a story. You sneak glances. Okay stares. After a while, he says, You know this tree is over 300 years old? You shrug. I thought it was like oldish. He smiles. They used to meet under this tree. Lovers, secret messages, vows, the usual. You roll your eyes, but your heart flutters a little. Over the next few days, he shows up more, always sketching. Sometimes he hums. Once, he gives Amma a drawing of her hands tying jasmine, and she actually blushes. You almost fall off the platform. He never asks why you sit here. That's what you like about him. He just accepts it, like it makes perfect sense. One day, he gives you a folded page. It's a portrait. You, threading flowers, eyes half closed, a smile tugging at one corner of your mouth. You gasp a little. Then, of course, immediately pretend you didn't. You post it online with a caption. What stillness gives you when you stop running? It explodes, like really explodes. 4 8K likes, 3 reposts from influencer pages, and a comment from someone verified that just says, This speaks peace. You get D-Miz asking if you're selling prints. You don't reply. Instead, you tuck the portrait into the back of your jasmine pouch, and you sit under the banyan tree with your back a little straighter. But stillness, you learn, isn't always soft. One evening, Amma doesn't come out. She's never late. Never. The air feels heavier without her. You wait, unsure. Eventually, your dad appears. His eyes are swollen. He doesn't need to say anything. You walk into her room like your feet aren't yours. She's lying in bed, breathing, but barely. Her fingers twitch like they're still tying something invisible. You kneel beside her and whisper, "I'm here." She opens her eyes, looks at you, smiles, and then she sleeps. Just sleeps. They say it was peaceful. You don't know. All you know is the next morning, the banyan tree feels too big, too quiet, too hers. But you go. You sit there. You don't bring flowers. Just the letter, the drawing, and her shawl wrapped around your shoulders. People pass by. They nod. Some stop. One man tells you how Amma once stayed up all night to keep a bird's nest dry with her sari. Another lady says Amma gave her the courage to speak again after her husband died. You listen. You nod. You try not to cry. Authors still debate whether memories fade or transform, but you're learning that some memories grow roots. You take Amma's place under the tree, not forever, not daily, but often enough that the ants know you. A breeze recognizes your scent. The boy with the sketchbook still visits. He still hums. One day, a little girl walks up and says, "Why do you sit here?" You pause, then hand her a jasmine flower. "Try listening," you say. She rolls her eyes and stays. Time passes, but you don't mark it in hours anymore. You mark it in flowers, in who stops to sit, in the silence between footsteps. The village changes too subtly. A new tea shop opens across from the banyan tree. The owner, a wiry woman with endless bangles, asks if she can name one of her blends. Amma's stillness. You nod, tears forming before you even finish your chai. You still have the notebook with your runaway lists, but it's heavier now, filled with sketches, petals pressed between pages, and stories people tell you in low voices under the tree. You begin writing them down, not for fame, not for followers, just to remember. You're not the only one who changed. The boy with the sketchbook, his name's Arav, by the way, starts organizing weekend classes for kids under the banyan tree. Drawing, listening, storytelling. No grades, no pressure, just space. And it catches on. One morning, there are 20 little mats spread under the branches, each with a crisscross-legged child holding chalk and wonder. You sit off to the side, still tying jasmine like Amma taught you, still listening. One afternoon, while sorting in old trunk, you find a dusty tin box tucked behind faded sweaters. Inside is a stack of letters, all of them addressed to girls, young girls, girls who once sat under that banyan tree. Each letter written in the same shaky but loving script Amma's. You read them, one by one. Some talk about fear, others about hope, all of them gently guiding the reader back to stillness, to slowness, to trust. Some are decades old. One even references a girl who used to dream of cities, but stayed when she realized her roots were stronger than her wings. You cry. Of course you do. It's messy, healing, loud even, but when you stop, you feel clear. You scan them. We copy the ones too. Faded to keep. Then you add your own. One letter, folded neatly, placed under the same stone with a jasmine bud. Just like before, the next morning, it's gone. You don't know who took it. You just smile and tie another string of flowers. And it becomes a thing. People begin to leave letters. Under the banyan tree, beside the stone, under the shawl stitched. Cushion you laid out as Amma's memory seat. Some letters are long, some short. Some just say thank you. Others are questions, prayers, apologies. They're not answered in words, but somehow they are dot, and you realize something. Stillness is not the absence of life. It's where life gathers. Quietly, without demand dot, it's where we come to breathe. Again, dot, you return to your list one day, the notebook. You flip through pages and pause at your escape page. You read your old plans. They feel like another person wrote them. In a way, she did. You don't cross them out. You add to them. Different things now. Teach under the tree. Publish Alma's letters. Ask Arav to sketch the banyan from above. And one scribble in bold, almost laughing script. Stay. But differently. The photo of you grumpy and soaked resurfaces again. Someone finds it and pairs it with a recent picture of you, leading a circle of children in silence under the tree. The caption? The girl who tried to leave and stayed to become the calm. It goes viral dot, and this time you don't feel exposed. You feel seen dot. Someone comments, "Where is this tree? I want to visit." Someone else, "Do you take volunteers?" And the one that makes you sit down hard on the floor. Your Alma saved. My sister's life once. She never forgot. You write a reply. Then delete it. Then just write. She still listens. Because she does. Not with ears, but through you. Through the silence she left behind. The way her fingers used to move. The soft tune she hummed. The roots she planted in you when you were too busy dreaming of elsewhere dot. And one morning years. Later you walk past a girl sitting under the tree. She looks lost, or maybe just paused. You offer her a flower. She says, "Why do people always sit here?" You smile. It's where stillness waits. She frowns, but smiles back, and stays. You keep walking. Not away, but through dot, because now you're not trying to escape, you're trying to grow. Now close your eyes. Imagine the soft sway of leaves in slow, rhythmic wind. Feel the solidness of stone beneath you. The hush of a banyan tree at dawn, before the world starts asking for anything. You've been sitting here a while, haven't you? Listening. Not to instructions, not to notifications, just to the world breathing beside you. Maybe someone like Alma has touched your life. Or maybe tonight, she just did. Maybe you've run. So long you forgot what waiting feels like. Maybe you've been afraid of silence because it feels like nothing. But now, maybe you know stillness is not empty. It's full of things you forgot to notice dot. So, let this be your moment. Let the quiet bloom like jasmine in your chest. Let your thoughts slow. Let your breath lengthen. You don't need to figure everything out tonight. You don't even need to move. Just be still. And when the moment comes when you're ready, write your own letter. Fold it gently. Place it in the world where someone else might find it. Because maybe they're sitting under a banyan tree of their own, just waiting to hear from you. Sweet dreams.